Shepherd and the crew, covering all Elite Wrestling, bringing you the news. It's Sunday Night Raw, gonna rock your world. Tune into the podcast, let the chaos unfurl. The energy's electric, the passion's on fire. Kicking out podcasts, take it higher and higher.
What's going on, Kicking Out Podcast Nation? It's Sunday night. It's August 4th, 2024. Brand new episode of the Kicking Out Podcast, streaming live on the Kicking Out Podcast YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. You can find us at Kicking Out Pod on all social media platforms. Give us that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and make sure you're following us or subscribed to our podcast on there if you haven't already. It's officially All In Month. Co-host Paul Zartman, the self-proclaimed People's Champion. How we doing, Paul?
Doing fantastic. It's Sunday night. We've had a lot of wrestling to talk about this week. Whether it be strictly AEW or, like that program that's on there behind you that you're, not on anymore, but,
SummerSlam, for everybody that's not watching.
From the great city of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, one of Paul's favorites.
Yes, and if you didn't catch it, big shout out to our buddies over at Between Two Beards, JPJ and Pluggo, who were there last night, and they were there Friday night. They got a chance to do some great interviews with several different people, and Pluggo even asked the great one, The Miz, how the Browns are going to do this year, and he said they're going undefeated and going to the Super Bowl.
So
I'll believe that when I see it, though.
There you go. But yes, shout out to JPJ and Pluggo from Between Two Beards, like you said. Love seeing when our friends and good people in general that work hard have success, and it was very cool. This was actually the first time they've ever met in person. They've been doing their podcast a little over 3 years. First time they ever were able to meet in person. I think they both got there Wednesday night, went to the junket Thursday, did some community events, and then went to SmackDown and WrestleMania and SummerSlam last night.
Okay. All right. Well, since we are waiting on the third member of the podcast,
surprise, what's new?
Yeah, I know. He's never on time. This is why he's not the champion. This is why you're the champion, and I'm the people's champion. I'm here at like 8:05, waiting on you to get here at 8:32, and then Shep will join us whenever he feels like it. But in the meantime, I gotta ask, what are we watching?
Yes, finally got a graphic up there. What are we watching tonight? Well, I went back, like I do every week, and I tried to find something on the date of which we're recording. Wasn't that many good events. So I said, SummerSlam happened last night. SummerSlam's arguably, at least in my opinion, WWE's second biggest event of the year every year.
By far.
So I figured I'd pick out a SummerSlam to watch tonight. I'm going to go back to one that's kind of always got a special place for me because it was the first SummerSlam once I really got back into wrestling after I took a couple-year hiatus when I was younger, and that's 2003 SummerSlam.
Okay.
So kicking it back there. And there is a guy featured on there that we will be talking about tonight that he has been in the news big time regarding AEW. Possibilities around AEW.
Okay. And his name would happen to be in the title of this here podcast.
You are correct.
Yeah.
See, Paul, you have a birthday yesterday. You're another year older now, another year wiser. Look at you.
Maybe I need to go back to being the unwise man.
Maybe.
I was seriously thinking about switching to the wise man, and then last night happened, and I went, well, I better not, because chances are he'll be back around soon.
Most likely. I got Steffi watching on YouTube, got Majin watching on YouTube, even though Steffi said he wasn't going to be here tonight.
Know.
He said he'd argue Rumble is bigger, but he can see why. Yeah, I think you can make a good argument. I think out of the big four, I think Survivor Series is by far the fourth now. It used to
by
be a lot
far.
better than it is now. At least they have gone to War Games route now, I guess.
Yeah.
But the traditional Survivor Series, we don't see that really anymore.
No. And I kind of miss those. The traditional 5-on-5,
Yep,
picking
yep.
teams, having to force them together. And that's one thing I like about AEW is you get that 5-on-5. It may be war game style, but at least you get a little bit of that because they have to put the teams together usually. There's only normally a couple people who will work out, and then they have to find people to work with them.
Well, Majin's asking about one of the topics I wanted to talk about tonight right off the bat, so we'll get right to
Yes.
it. Majin asks, gotta ask, should a MJF have been suspended too? And what he is referring to is Fightful came out with a report this week that Britt Baker was suspended from AEW. Her suspension is over now, and this all stemmed from a confrontation / argument involving MJF and Britt Baker backstage. And here is what Fightful had to say in their report 2 days ago. Britt Baker's suspension from AEW is legitimate. Several weeks ago, an argument between Britt Baker and MJF occurred. The word internally was that Baker exercised frustration about MJF within the women's locker room. Word made it back to MJF as his girlfriend, Alicia Tout, was in the room. The details are he said, she said at this point, but we're told there were confrontations with Britt Baker approaching Alyssa as well as MJF and Baker. At one point, Will Ospreay also spoke with Baker, but we were told that was not heated. Word was that Baker also took issue with a tout telling MJF about what was said in the locker room. There was a claim for one person in the locker room that Baker cursed at a tout and wanted to kick her out of the locker room for discussing the conversation. An argument broke out between MJF and Baker, which resulted in MJF punching a wall before his hour-long match. He had to be taped up more than usual as a result. The previous close friends, Britt Baker and MJF, had a falling out at some point in the last year. HR got involved in the situation, which actually happened several weeks ago. Baker has appeared on TV since then, but was legitimately suspended. And they talk a lot more about kind of he said, she said type of stuff. But thoughts, Paul, and welcome, Shep.
Yeah, I'm a little late. It's okay.
Well, first thought, as somebody who is in the business in some capacity, there's kind of this golden rule that I've kind of always been told is what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. So I could understand, and I've heard that even before I got into the business. So I understand Baker being mad that this star went and told MJF what was said. I don't feel like that should have happened. Everybody's allowed to air their grievances. I mean, you're never going to get along with all of your coworkers 100% of the time. So having a little bit of a frustration and airing that frustration among a group of people that you feel you can trust and aren't going to go tell anybody, and then to have one of them go tell somebody kind of hurts.
Yeah. And this is what happens sometimes when there's relationships backstage between talents.
Yeah.
If something's said by one talent that's dating another talent, they're probably going to go tell the other talent. And, you guys know how gossip works in the workplace.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to know your audience. Look, if MJF's girlfriend's sitting in the audience and you're bitching about him, just stop.
Yeah.
You know it's going to
get
come back to
him.
him. I mean, if she's loyal, which all of them, never mind. That's another lyric we probably can't sing. But I mean, just stop. She did it on. Look. I've been through more marriages than you, there, Tan Man.
You and me both.
Yeah. So Paul probably
we're going down this rabbit hole again.
Yeah, Paul's going to agree with me on this one. If that girl's sitting in the room and she's talking shit, she knows her audience. She knows what she's doing. That's just them. Like, she brought it on, and much as I like Britt Baker, I'm not saying I don't like her as a performer, as a talent. I think she's amazing. One of the brightest stars the women's division has. But this one's kind of self-inflicted, boys. Self-inflicted, man.
Oh, and I'm not saying, that she shouldn't have been punished for it. I think both of them kind of should have been punished. Britt got a 2-week suspension out of it.
Mhm.
Suspend MJF for a week.
Because
give
he
him
punched the
something.
wall?
Well, yeah.
Oh, geez. What the hell did the wall ever do?
Hey, you know what? It starts with punching walls. Next thing you know, you're throwing chairs at people who are sitting down, and then dogs are biting people, and humans are biting other humans, and it's a
Heads
whole
are falling
brawl out.
off.
Yeah.
Oh man, this could be in a really early rabbit hole. Just saying.
Yeah, but with all the locker room issues that have come out from AEW the last few years, it sounds like they did do their due diligence with investigating, and the HR got involved, blah blah blah. So the fact that only Britt was suspended, not MJF, Britt was probably more warranted to be suspended than MJF. So.
And I've seen a lot of people. This is one of those very he said, she said situations because a lot of reports, and Majin kind of mentions it here with, he still shouldn't have barged into the women's locker room and shouted at Britt and all that. I get that. But there were reports that that's what he did. There were reports he knocked on the door and was allowed in. I mean,
I definitely don't know the guy personally, but I would think he would knock first. I don't think any male in the right mind would barge into the women's locker. Not in 2024.
Well, Shep might.
No, Shep would not.
Hey! The only permission I got to go in a locker room is Mama Wayne's.
Hey, she's a trios champ.
And that's to help her put that gold around that waist.
I knew that was coming. Right.
Hey, Shep, I saw a little silver cup there. So before we get any further into this episode, I got to ask you, what are we drinking?
What are we drinking tonight? We've drank a lot today. Not going to lie. We had a little celebration at the local Moose Lodge for one of our local guys that got one of the really, really high degrees that only comes once around every about 20 years, it seems like. So we had a little celebration. We started about 1 o'clock this afternoon and took care of him. So we've had a little vodka sodas today, and we're going to keep it up with some vodka sodas. If we get into where I think we're going to get into, which I know this is an AEW podcast, but I think we're going to really talk a lot about SummerSlam. I might get a little tequila because I'm looking at it right now, and it really, really looks really good. So maybe a little later, if we're talking about Mommy and Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom, we might have to have a little tequila to salute to that feud. But anyways, it's just water today, boys.
You're mentioning the fact that this is it's water. It's Russian water, right?
Me and Vladimir Putin.
Whoa, hey, whoa. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
Oh.
We're not trying to get canceled like other people have.
Actually, no, the vodka I drink is fucking from French. I think it's French. France.
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 14.
French are from France.
Yeah. Hey, how many world wars have they won? 0. They suck. They can't even win a gold medal.
But when you mix French dressing and ranch dressing, you can call it French.
Sure.
Yeah. Just
I
helping
like
you
that.
out, Shep.
I like that.
Hey, Shep's getting compared to Ric Flair in the comments by Majin.
Go there. You know what? That's a compliment. I'll take that. That's a compliment.
But
wait till I break out. Wait till I start talking like Donald Trump. I mean, hey, I talk like this.
Tanner, we might have to mute him.
No, I don't. I don't have a Trump impersonation. I just think it's funny that I brought it up, just to watch you two squirm a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Shep, you mentioned that this is an AEW podcast, and what's funny is I see 2 out of the 3 of us are wearing shirts with people from the WWE on them.
Technically, mine's an AEW shirt, though. So.
Well, but he's over there in that company now.
Mine's actually a hillbilly dirt sprint car driver, so I can't see that. The microphone's in the way. Thank you. There we go. Wait, 6. Okay, I get it now.
Did you get that for your birthday, Paul?
Yes.
Cool.
Paul, did you just have a birthday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Holy shit. Tanner, you didn't let him know. You should have let me know. I would have wished him happy birthday.
Well, I'm sorry.
Hey, Paul.
I guess I'll take the blame.
Hey, Paul, I don't have the book they call Face, so I don't see
Yeah.
that shit. So happy birthday.
I think Instagram says it too now. So
Does it really? I didn't know.
I
that.
don't know. I don't know. It asks for your birthday and it shows it on the profile. So
I don't know how to. I mean, I know how to look at it, but I don't know how to use it correctly.
Yeah.
So
you just scroll and like photos, and then you get yelled at, right?
yes, hopefully she's. Never mind. Yeah. Well.
Majin's still waiting for his own heart shirt to come in. I'm guessing that's the new one off shopaew.com. That's a good looking shirt. Yeah. But before we get into talking about Dynamite this week, I want to hit on the other big topic, one of the topics of the thumbnail for this week's episode. That was that Mr. Shane McMahon met with Tony Khan and discussed some possibilities moving forward. They met at a private airport in Arlington, Texas, and somehow a photo was leaked out there, and Wrestle Talk grabbed it, and then they did a collaboration with Fightful, and the report came out Wednesday. This was before Dynamite. I'm still wondering who the mutual friend was that set up this meeting and who took the photo. And
The mutual.
in my opinion, there's no way this photo wouldn't have gone out without those two knowing.
It was purposeful. I'm sorry. There's no leaking about this. One of those two said, all right, send it out.
Yeah.
But make us look like we're not expecting you to take this
Oh,
photo,
yeah.
which is why Tony looks the way he does.
Yeah.
Super shot.
Yeah. Tony's got his finger on the pulse. I think he probably wanted to stir things up a little bit, get some pub going AEW's way, some acknowledgement, and he probably wanted to see what fans thought of the possibility of Shane McMahon working with AEW.
Smack Cardona.
Matt Cardona.
That could be a good possibility as a mutual friend. You never know.
He's the middle of everything.
He's a bully.
He is the middle of everything. He is a bully. That Zack Ryder guy. He's a bully.
Yeah.
Who?
I'm guessing you saw that video with Cody and Miz too.
Yeah. Yep.
Great video.
Yes, I did.
Shep has no clue what we're talking about.
Not a clue. I just like Matt Cardona.
So I feel like this is something we talked about a month ago when rumors started coming up. Now it looks like, now there's been an actual meeting. And I know Shep was predicting last month that he thinks Shane shows up at Wembley at All In. Shep, you sticking to your guns there?
Yeah, I think he makes an appearance. I don't know what the appearance will be about, if it's going to be in a specific storyline or if it's just going to be a random appearance where we get the shock factor. But yeah, I think he shows up for sure. I would
Paul,
still bet you guys a drink on that one.
Paul, do you think we see Shane show up in AEW?
Well, yeah, and the guy who knows everything about pro wrestling, Vince Russo, says it's because he's gonna buy it eventually. I can't even finish it.
Bro. That guy is so full of crap.
No. I do not believe anything that Russo says.
Now hold on a second.
There's a few people right there that I would never trust.
Paul, let me ask you. Let me just throw this out there. Vince McMahon, scumbag, right? We all get that.
Yeah.
He's done. He's been bought out. Whatever, right? He's got
TKO,
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
He can go sit on an island and drink pina coladas and have his toes rubbed every day for the next 10 years and be fine, right?
That dude's into more things than toe rubbing, but yes, that's besides the point. Let's keep going.
Okay, well, you took it the wrong way there, Tanner. I was being.
I'm sorry.
Just follow me here.
I saw an MJF tweet like 30 minutes before we went on the air, so
Is it possible that Vince McMahon has such a obsession with this business where if all of a sudden he's completely out on one end, took all of his money, now all of a sudden he finds a way back in, and he can pay TK off, which look, TK doesn't need the money, but if TK can make a profit and see the, like, I can literally put this chunk of change in my bank account and I don't have to work like I do now 20 hours a day. I really think that any red-blooded American human being would look at this and go, holy shit, I just worked for 6 years in of AEW, right? 6 years?
2019. So
Okay.
5.
We're 5 years in. We're 5 years in. I've spent this, but I can bank a check for this and I don't have to worry about it.
No chance.
No.
But
Quote Vinny's
he's-
music, no chance in hell.
But he's a sick human being, guys. I'm not talking TK.
He is.
He's a sick human being. He's 70, 80 years old. I don't know how old Vince is. But if he can weasel his way back into the business that he damn near created.
And I think that's
I can see him doing it. I really
No, he can do that, but not with AEW. He can try to start his own promotion.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to
Why-
want to go work for the guy,
But why wouldn't he buy a promotion that's nipping on the heels of the one he
Tony
created?
won't sell it to him. Tony won't sell it to him.
No. And
I
if
don't think Shane's
anything-
got anything to do with Vince anymore.
Well, hold
Right.
on. You say why won't Tony sell it to him? You're
Tony
saying
thought-
there's not a price? Come on.
No. For one, it's more of his dad's
Everybody's got
money
a
than
price.
it's more of his
They
dad's
do.
money than his. And no, he would never sell. Nope. I don't see. I think we're more likely to see The Rock, John Cena, Stone Cold, Randy Orton, Bill Goldberg, The Undertaker.
God, I knew he was going to say it.
All show up in AEW before he would sell to Vince McMahon.
I don't know,
mean,
man.
okay,
Those guys
look.
are all really, really good performers and are very loyal to Connecticut.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's his point.
But they don't have the
But-
checkbook that Vince McMahon has.
Still has, but
Well, I mean,
But
he still has.
the
but
dude
he's
could
not-
be and he could be thrown in jail eventually, depending on
Exactly.
his legal
Well, that's
situation.
true.
So
I mean, there's a lot of ifs.
Exactly.
I'm not saying this is a highly likely thing, but I'm just saying it's a possibility.
but yet the Khans do have more money than the McMahons.
Yes.
Well, if
Because
you,
and Shep,
they have
you've said it time and time again, and I'm going to quote Shepard here. It's that oil money.
it is that old
Jesus,
money.
look who's behind me, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one great AEW talent and another douchebag.
Easy.
Oh God.
He was a better rapper than he was a booker.
Yep. But okay.
Anyways,
well,
let's
let's
get
say
back on
Shane-
track.
let's say Shane does show up in AEW. Do you guys want to see him as on-screen talent? If so, do you want to see him as a in-ring performer or more of a just on-screen character, or do you think we need to have him strictly backstage and not
No.
on-screen?
Backstage, he has no effect
Okay.
to us. Now, is there some talents he could probably help? Yes, he's got the experience. He can guide them. But if you're going to take that kind of investment, you have to put him on screen to get a return.
All right.
Do I see maybe he has a match once a year, twice a year?
I don't want to
Last
see
time
that.
we saw him, he blew out his quad at 39.
Yeah.
Thank God for Snoop Dogg, by the way.
Yeah, saved the whole segment.
Saved it all. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm kind of torn on this. I agree with both sides of this. To get a return on investment, you do need him on screen. Now, here's what I kind of fear. And we've talked about it time and time again. We've heard some of the talent refer to it as a possibility. have him come in as, and I'm gonna choke on my words as I say this, so bear with me. The general manager of Collision. We've already been hearing rumors since it started of a brand split. You've got guys who only wrestle on Collision. You've got guys
Blinders.
who only wrestle on Dynamite. So go ahead and you want to put him on screen. You've got Christopher Daniels, who's been acting on behalf of Tony Khan already. So make him your Dynamite general manager and make Shane your Collision general manager.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I was thinking maybe throw him in there somehow with the Elite and have him go against Tony somehow. So I think Shane's a better heel than he is a babyface.
The only problem with that is that would start the fuel, or that would feed the fire even more. However you want to say it, there's like 20 different ways to say it. That Shane's gonna eventually buy AEW.
Well, let him talk. I just see no way it happens.
But you don't want to do that. Like I understand where Paul's coming from, but in that kind of copycat and Raw and
it is
SmackDown with Aldis and
Pierce.
Adam Pierce.
But I will say, and I don't mind this Collision environment right now with the esports arena they're doing the next month, but Collision has not been much must-watch TV for me as of late. It's a whole different program than Dynamite, and I know that's what they were going for originally when it debuted last year, but not a lot of talking points are happening on Collision for me. I mean,
No.
I don't remember the last time I've picked Collision as my show of the week. It's been Dynamite.
Have we ever picked Collision as our show?
I think
I did back in the day, like when it first debuted. This is back in like the CM.
Well,
Punk
that's because
days.
you had FTR and Punk on there.
still have FTR.
Still have FTR.
I know, but I mean, you were just super happy because you got to see FTR and Punk.
But I do think if Shane's gonna come to AEW, they need to do it within the next month. You got to capitalize on the buzz.
I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it on your biggest stage, and that's Wembley. You got to.
Yep.
If you're going to debut somebody like this, and I'm not saying he's like the mega star, but it's the ultimate forbidden door.
Well, and it's just a McMahon in AEW.
Yes,
It's just
you're bringing a
mind-blowing.
McMahon on a non-WWE event. So your biggest stage, it's got to be Wembley. Got to be.
Yep.
I mean, if you debut him on a Dynamite or Rampage, it might get a pop because they're live, but it's not the same. Not the same.
Majin, I'm glad I can't watch Collision then if FTR are there still. Majin hating on FTR like he does every week.
You know what? That's some bullshit. How can you hate on the best tag team ever?
Ever? Oh, not even an AEW.
Wow.
He's saying ever.
Hey, name another tag team that held AEW Gold, CMLL, New Japan, ROH.
I think it was AAA, not CMLL, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was AAA.
There are none. There are none.
CMLL and AAA, they both have some banger steak tacos, so I was close. Yeah. Ever. Debate me on this one.
He will.
Okay, give me one. Give me one that held all those belts at the same time other than FT Bar. I'm waiting.
Well, okay. And I'll say they're one of the best tag teams.
Yeah, they're top 10.
Yes. I'll never
say top 5 for sure. And I'm going back to the territory days.
Okay.
Majin says Legion of Doom held everywhere they've been, as have Dudley Boys. I'd have those two above FTR easily.
Hey, and I agree with you, but they're not at the same time. Same time. They had so much damn gold, they couldn't get security through security of the airport. They had so much damn gold. Legion of Doom, top 5. Dudley Boys, top 7. Okay? Come on. Come on.
Don't
get me fired up tonight. I'm in a mood, dude. I could get fired up real easily.
We could spend a long time debating tag teams, I feel like, but we do have a lot of wrestling to talk about.
Wrestling.
Let's talk about some wrestling.
Let's talk about some
good,
wrestling.
because I don't have the old charger hooked up to the laptop tonight. So if I go black, I might have to go. Let me see how much.
Well, good. We're giving you an hour. You only get another hour, Shep.
Hell, I still got 91%. I'm good.
Dynamite this week. What were some of your guys' big takeaways from Dynamite? What'd you like?
We again had 2 women's matches.
Yes.
I don't care
Seen
if
the
one's
trend
a
here.
squash match.
I don't
You
either.
can keep one at less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
I'm perfectly okay with that. We just want 2 every week.
Camille looked good in the squash match. The eliminator match was actually entertaining and it served a purpose for once.
Yes, yeah, because somebody actually won an eliminator match. It's crazy.
They've been doing that a little bit lately, Paul. I think somebody's got their finger on the pulse of KOP and has heard Paul complain about this because they've been doing some of those. So
yeah, I know. They're stupid. I mean, this one made sense. All right.
Yeah.
I see where they're going. It furthers the story. But 9 times out of 10, it's just some random guy on the roster we're going to give an eliminator match to see if he gets a chance at the champion while the champion's still champion.
But Statlander beat Willow with some help, of course, but now she gets a shot at Willow's CMLL title. So, yeah. Yep.
Do you think that's the first ever eliminator match in CMLL history?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Probably.
I thought my standout was Ospreay and Lance Archer.
Yes.
Oh, that was phenomenal.
We need Archer on TV more regularly.
So good.
He's great.
He's so good. So good.
And he's got a damn good record too. If you caught that,
he does.
Popped up there.
He does. But I hate like when they do what they did with him this week. Like we start seeing him the last few weeks. He squashed people, beating up people, but then they preview the match. Him against Ospreay. I love the history from New Japan they had, but right away you're like, oh well, Lance didn't win that match.
Right.
Like the only big match in AEW I can remember him winning is he beat Moxley in that Texas Death match for the New Japan U.S. title.
Yes, he did.
On Dynamite back in 21.
Yeah, and that worked because Archer then went overseas and wrestled for New Japan for quite a while he was champion.
Correct. But it was a very fun match. Yes. Majin said more Archer on TV, damn it. Absolutely. Yeah, they worked well. And I know, and Shep, I was anxious to get your thoughts because you don't like the big guy versus little guy match.
I don't. And I thought Archer looked really, really good here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to take anything away from him, but maybe that's just how good Ospreay works with anybody and everybody. So maybe made him look that damn good. He sold so good. God, did Ospreay sell so good. But I got behind this match. I really did. Now, if this was Archer versus, I'm not picking on you here, Tanner. If this was Archer versus Marco Stunt, and it went 25 minutes, I would be explicit in 32 seconds, boys.
Oh, I would love it if it was 25 minutes of Marco getting his head bashed in.
But Marco can't work that long. So
that's true.
Without breaking a bone. Hell, David Arquette broke his leg in some bar in California. I made that
greatest WCW World Heavyweight Champion in history.
Oh boy.
Well,
Paul's an undercover Russo fan.
You look
bullshit.
I see a lot of resemblance.
I'm the people's champion, and I recognize other great people's champions.
Wow, you look. I bet you go around the corner and come back with a Disco Inferno T-shirt on.
Oh,
hell no. No.
That guy's a piece of trash.
Next thing you know, Paul's going to be going.
No. No.
All right, what the hell were we talking? Oh, Archer and Ospreay.
yeah.
Great
Yeah.
match. Great way to kick off the show. Again, yeah, I'm not a big versus little guy, but both of these guys really brought it, and I thought it was a great 20, 22, 23-minute opening match that really kicked off a great episode.
Baja wants to know who's more full of shit, Russo or Conan, bro. Great question, man.
I think
Bischoff.
Sorry.
You know
Russo
what's
for
weird?
sure. I like Conan.
I think Russo, but Conan, it's interesting because he did a little work with AEW back during the pandemic. You remember with the Inner Circle or 2020, pandemic 2020 with the Pinnacle.
LAX Inner Circle.
And the Pinnacle Inner Circle stuff, whatever was going on there. When they're in Vegas, he was, but now all he does is trash the company. So yeah, I don't listen to Conan. I liked him back in the day when he was a talent for WCW. But as far as who's more full of it, I think definitely Russo. Then I put Bischoff up there too. So,
I was going to say Russo or Bischoff.
I still think Russo's more full of it, but Bischoff's just a negative person when it comes to AEW.
I think Bischoff's an asshole because he's not getting a paycheck.
Yeah. Another guy they used to use and they don't anymore.
If they continued to use him, he would not say the shit he's saying.
Yeah.
But he's just a bitter asshole.
Yep.
So he's trying to figure out how to pay for that mansion in Montana when the snow comes and he can't pay the heat bill.
Wyoming.
Or Wyoming, Montana. And
Same thing.
Yeah.
They're out there. And,
They look the same.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's just trying to figure out how to pay the heat bill out there.
You know, one thing on Dynamite I did not really care for this week. MJF's opening segment didn't hit for me.
No.
It's too redundant. It was pretty much the same thing he did last week.
That's kind of the problem we're running into. MJF is almost out of material, it seems like. Or he's still trying to remember how to be a good heel, so he's just sticking with what he knows.
Is he trying to be want to make sure everybody thinks he's a heel, so he's being a little bit over the top? Because
I think
when he left, he was a face. We can all agree there. He was a face.
Correct.
Now he's coming back as a heel, and he wants to make sure he gets the heel. So I feel like sometimes he's a little bit over the top. A little bit of
he leans into the cheap heat.
But
cheap heat too much. You know, he rips the town, calls them rednecks every week, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But then he tries to start USA chants and stuff, and so Ospreay's got to try to get the crowd back on his side, and said, this isn't the guy you want to be representing America and all this stuff. So, yeah. He did defend his title down CMLL over the weekend.
He did. I saw that he had 2 title defenses. Not just this weekend, but he was going to be defending the title twice. Because somebody said it's funny. When it was the international championship, it very rarely got defended outside of America. And now it's the American championship. And the first 2 defenses are outside the United States.
Right.
And then Wednesday, he's working with Kyle Fletcher in a title eliminator match.
Yeah. Kyle Fletchlight, as he calls him.
Fleshlight. That's kind of funny, guys.
It was pretty funny.
I'm not going to lie. That's pretty funny.
Kyle Fletcher's a future star.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's just got to be Dr. Kyle right now, as he refers to himself.
So maybe he does have a fleshlight.
Never mind. I'm not. Nope. Not going down that rabbit hole.
I mean, never mind. Anyways.
Yeah.
You guys are bad influences on me.
Shep, have you seen what he has at home?
Sky blue.
Yeah.
And she's on the shelf right now.
But she's on the shelf. That's why he might have to have a fleshlight is what I'm getting at, Paul.
It's just her ankle.
It's not like she finished the oh God, I can't seem to say it. It's not like she visited the dentist.
Exactly.
Oh God. What would it better be if freaking Britt Baker put her on the shelf? Wouldn't that be even better? That made the joke even better. Oh God, you guys gotta get your fucking head out together, okay?
Yeah,
Tanner,
you gotta be professional here, boys.
Come on.
Tanner, I think it's time to talk about Missionary Mike.
What the
Did you see that, Shep? Did you see that?
I missed that. What do we do?
So the Miz and so Cody has a new YouTube show, pretty much called what do you want to talk about? It's presented by American Wheatley Vodka, whatever you want to call it.
Not bad vodka. I've had it. We've tried it on this show.
I got a bottle downstairs, and so he had the Miz on, and they were talking about Zack Ryder, or Matt Cardona, but they're calling him Zack Ryder on this.
Do they make fun of his finish and call it the sack rider like Effie does?
No, but that's a good one.
Funny. It's pretty funny.
But supposedly Ryder, out of nowhere, gave the Miz the nickname Missionary Mike. And the locker room loved that. So Xavier Woods even has him saved in his phone as Missionary Mike.
He was doing the kind of talk that Cardona likes to talk about, so I'm sure he was talking about something him and Chelsea or the girlfriend at the time had done together.
Before Mike got with the Canadian Maurice. Mm-hmm. And then Cardona's with Chelsea, but before Chelsea, it was the girl that with the hand with the gloves. What was her name?
The hand with the gloves.
Oh, she was in TNA. She came to WWE twice. She's with NXT talent now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually got fired.
Yeah, she did. I forget her name. I can see her.
Anyways,
I can see her.
I'm
dressed up like a cop, kind of like a cop.
Yeah. My question is
it Emma? Emma something? Or, I don't know.
Emma.
Tennille Dashwood?
Tennille Dashwood.
Yeah.
There you go.
But the reason I think they come up with the name Missionary Mike, I'm guessing that Cardona and The Miz are Eskimo brothers at some point.
Could be.
So there might be a little more to it.
I think it's stemmed that they were calling Mike lazy or something too.
Yeah.
Along those lines. So I don't know.
I mean,
I don't.
This could be This could be a bad one.
Let's just leave that for the
Go look it up, Shep. And to anybody who hasn't seen it, go look it up.
Yeah.
Missionary Mike.
They both call Zack Ryder a bully. So yeah.
Well, I mean, Paul, don't take offense to this, but The Miz is a Cleveland fan, so.
Oh yeah.
He said the Browns are going undefeated Super Bowl.
Who did? Paul?
The Miz.
Our buddy Pluggo asked him at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. And he was on a talk show this week too to promote SummerSlam, and they were talking about the Browns and Miz. They were talking about different games, and Miz was going win. So yeah, Miz is convinced they're going undefeated this year. I'll be happy if they get more than one win.
No, they'll get more than one win.
I have a team from Cleveland who's doing good. Okay, you can dog on the Browns all you want, but best
in baseball right now.
My Guardians, baby.
Best in baseball right now.
Who are the Guardians? Are those the Cleveland Indians?
Yes.
Okay.
The good old Cleveland Indians.
I don't even know who the Guardians are, and I refuse to reference them as the Guardians.
Good job.
Because Major League and Major League 2 could be some of the best baseball movies of all time.
Yes. We want to talk about Major League 3. Major League 1 and 2 are good.
Oh, yeah. Major League 3 was ass.
Most movies are when they get into a third.
But hey,
franchise.
one of the best lines is, "Damn it! I should have knew we should have got him live chicken." Oh man, what a great line.
No, they are good.
So many good one-liners.
So, what do you guys think? Circling back to Dynamite. What do you guys?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, occasionally. What do you think about Bryan Danielson putting his career on the line against Swerve at All In? So we got career versus title. Does this change how you think this match is going to go?
It completely screwed up my prediction. My prediction's already on paper.
I think I said mine last week. Even though I said I could change it, I said it was subject to change.
Well, they're always subject to change, but this one really threw the old
until the prediction show, and then after that, they're not subject to change.
Yeah, remember, Shep, it's only you, me, and JPJ this time. No time for losers.
So are those two going to have their own little podcast on the side?
They might. That'd be cute.
No, I'm going to be here to moderate and make sure that, we don't end up with another tie.
Okay.
Well, it could happen.
Okay. They do call me Mr. Perfect Card.
No, they don't.
Who calls you that?
Yeah, nobody does. Nobody does.
Who calls you that? Majin? He doesn't count.
He's Canadian.
Eh.
Oh,
Sorry.
But as I look at this, since I'm not in the predictions, I can give mine. 9 times out of 10, when it's a something versus career match, unless it's a career versus career, the person who's put their career on the line wins. So,
but it's not time to take the belt off of Swerve. I'm telling you guys, it's not the right time.
It's not. I agree.
The interesting thing about this is Danielson's contract, which he's been very open and honest about. And if you look ahead, in October pay-per-view is in Washington, the home of Swerve and Danielson both. Wrestle Dream. So that's what's kind of interesting, I think.
Well, his contract technically went out August 1st.
August 1st.
Yeah.
So he's going to work on a handshake.
His in-ring
handshake
contract.
agreement. Yeah.
His in-ring.
Contract. So I'm guessing he has another one for backstage, kind of like Punk had 2 contracts with AEW.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that worked out well.
That little guy that helps the elite isn't so special with being 2 contract Brandon anymore. Or 2 contract Cutler. That's what they called him.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a special moment for Danielson to get that belt in Wembley. I think it would mean more in Wembley than in Washington, though, Tanner.
I agree.
Because can you imagine the viewership difference you're going to have between Wembley and then Wrestle Dream?
No doubt. Well, that's what I'm saying. He could win it in his last full-time match. Could be at Wrestle Dream. He could drop it to somebody there.
Drop it to Swerve.
You have to give Swerve a rematch and do it then.
I think he drops to somebody else.
Who would be okay? I'm interested to see because this is a long way away and nothing's in stone yet. So, okay, Danielson wins at Wembley. Who would you like to see him drop it to?
I don't know if I per se like to see him drop it to this guy, but this is a bold prediction of who I think is going to end 2024 as the AEW World Champion. That's Darby Allin.
No,
he's got a shot at Grand Slam, and I think we're going to see a triple threat at Wrestle Dream between Swerve, Danielson, and Darby. Darby's also from Washington.
Could you
They could finally elevate him above the TNT.
Sting did that. Sting elevated him above that TNT title. I'm sorry.
Could you put Darby in a line with Cody Rhodes and Gunther and say these 3 guys are carrying the business?
Close. Wow, that's not even fair.
No, you can't. But AEW is a totally different company than WWE.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing that, but you're going to put your company, who's a little vulnerable right now. Okay,
they'll get that new deal.
They're a little vulnerable right now. You're going to put the shit not behind Swerve, not behind Danielson. You're going to put it behind Darby. And I like Darby. He's a crazy son of a buck.
Yes,
okay?
He is.
And he will do whatever it takes. I'm not taking that away from the guy. I'm not taking his heart away. But if you put him on the pedestal and compare him to Cody and Gunther, Man, it makes AEW look a little bad, doesn't it?
Well, all right. Look, I love Darby. I love watching him in the ring. I think AEW has too many titles right now, but if they would have come up with something more like the X Division after what we saw at Blood and Guts, I think Darby would be a great champion for something like that. But here's my problem. The dude was in the ER before he was ever in professional wrestling, thanks to his girlfriend at the time. So
I'm just saying, I want my flowers when this happens. All right.
I wouldn't be shocked if TK would do this. I just
Yeah,
don't know if
it's
it's the.
TK.
I just don't know if it's the right move.
I wouldn't do it personally. This is just my prediction of what I think's going to happen. I think they've planted some seeds, and I think they're there.
I think and maybe it's because it's fresh in my mind, but I think this was one of the best SummerSlams we've ever witnessed in
by
my
far.
lifetime.
By far.
I think they have a shit ton of momentum.
Yeah, that's what AEW's just got to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can't worry about WWE, man.
I don't disagree with that, but you don't put the belt on Darby. Yeah, I mean, I think Swerve's hotter than hell right now, and obviously Danielson has his name. You got to keep it between those guys. I mean, I don't think you can afford to do it anywhere else.
Okay,
and I'm just looking at it as a business aspect.
Sure. No,
not that Darby
that.
wouldn't get a huge pop in Washington and the locker room coming out and congratulating him. I get all that stuff. I'm just talking when it comes to everyday dollars and cents. Man, it'd be tough to compare Darby to Cody and Gunther right now. I'm just saying.
I don't know if AEW has too many people that do.
True.
Swerve is one of them. Danielson's one of them.
Okay.
MJF, one of them.
Ospreay, which they won't do that yet again.
I know, but I'm just saying Ospreay's one of them. Okada's one of them. Like there's talent in AEW that can run with these boys. So,
I know Majin over here keeps saying Hangman should. I think we're gonna get Hangman and Okada at all, and I think that's the direction they're going with that. Hangman and Swerve, maybe that was the direction they should have went instead of Danielson, but they're really putting their cards into Danielson's last hurrah as a full-time in-ring competitor.
Yeah,
and go ahead, Shep.
And Darby went over Hangman, Majin.
And I like this last 30 days Hangman we get, the reckless aggression Hangman.
What did you guys think of Darby beating him the other night? Which is just another reason why I'm predicting what I am.
It doesn't surprise me though. See, that's the problem. Is they've built Darby to be this guy who can overcome all odds, like a superhero. And maybe they're trying to make him a lot more like Sting, since Sting and him had their run together. But I don't think it works for Darby. I have no problem with Darby picking up victories. I like him. Good guy to watch. But I don't think he needs this type of character, this dark superhero who overcomes all the odds because he's the little guy.
But I do like character-wise how Hangman keeps losing and he's going crazier and crazier. He snapped the other night after the match. So I do like the character growth we're seeing there.
But maybe we're gonna all be swerved, no pun intended, with this.
Yeah.
And for the first time in probably ever, the person putting their career on the line loses.
Could be. But the thing that gets me is Danielson's like, I will never wrestle again.
Flair
You like
said that
wrestling
too.
too much,
Hey,
Brian.
Flair said that too.
Yeah.
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 He said that when he gave his retirement speech in WWE, and then he wrestled again in WWE.
I'll
and then
never retire. And he meant it.
Yeah. But I mean, we know briefly what's been said about his health. We don't know the full extent of it. Maybe he only
Correct.
does have one more match in him.
Correct.
Maybe the doctors are saying you've put too much strain on your neck here recently, and if you keep it up, you'll be in your daughter's life, but you'll be in a wheelchair.
I guess I like the stipulation being added. I know a lot of IWC was complaining, thinking that, well, this proves like who's going to win now. Not necessarily. I think it adds more intrigue myself, personally. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. It does make it a lot harder to predict.
It threw a little wrench into the plans. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. The card's looking great so far for All In, as it should. So far so good.
And let's not forget, Jarrett told Danielson, I want you to go all in. Danielson looks at him and goes, I went all in, and Jarrett went heel on him again.
Now they're facing each other with Steamboat as the enforcer Wednesday night.
Yeah.
It's coming Wednesday, right?
It's coming, yeah. So that's going to be, I didn't have that on my bingo card. Danielson versus Double J in 2024.
Nope.
I'm here for it, though.
Yeah. But final countdown at Wembley is going to be phenomenal.
Oh,
regardless.
It's going to be goosebumps.
Yeah, when that song hits.
And
Yeah.
maybe since Soraya's not there this year, the other girl who pretends to be Freddie Mercury, he'll actually get to use the Queen song.
Oh, not Io. That's the wrong company. Emi Sakura, I think. Yeah, Steamboat is still around, Steffi. Yeah. Ricky the Dragon. Yeah, he's going to make an appearance Wednesday night, so that'll be cool. That'll be cool. So, but yeah, kind of hit on it. Darby beat Hangman in the main event after Hangman spent majority of the match beating Darby up, but Hangman didn't finish him off when he should have. Got cocky, tried to go for the buckshot. Darby pinned him.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I mean 1, 2, 3. I'm a ref. I can't count.
Yeah. So overall, I thought it was a good episode of Dynamite. I don't think it was as strong as the previous 3 weeks. But those were kind of special weeks. But now we are in the full road towards Wembley now.
So. We are. It's going to be a fun ride.
Yep. Rampage. I don't have anything to report from Rampage again.
No.
I
didn't watch it.
Noteworthy. Nothing.
I
Really
read the spoilers. That was it.
Yep. Nothing really noteworthy in Collision. Not too noteworthy, but a few things. And this is one thing I didn't talk about on Dynamite. Beast Mortos. He's looking like a stud right now. He got the clean pin over Mark Briscoe on Wednesday nights on Dynamite. So it's looking like that might be the next challenger for the ROH World Title. Beast Mortos. This guy can go for a little dude.
Yeah, pretty good. I've watched a couple of his matches and enjoy his stuff. I don't like how they give the ROH champion clean pins every other week.
I know.
I don't like that. I think that diminishes the value of ROH. And I feel like the Briscoes are the heart of ROH. So I think that just hurts that, but that's a whole nother debate. I thought the big thing with Collision was
Majin wants Beast Mortos and Dino Douche.
Hey, Majin, you and I agree on one thing. We call him Dino Douche. We agree on one thing. I appreciate that.
Hey, he didn't get a strap. Mama Wayne got it.
Yep.
She got to bring gold home to me, baby. I'll send that Shawn Michael pose with that gold here in a little bit. If you want that.
Oh boy, I'm gonna throw up.
No.
No.
But
damn it, back to Collision. I thought one of the big things is we got Buddy Matthews is back.
Yeah, he showed up Collision, didn't go help mommy.
Yeah.
Mommy's got her own problems.
That's what Samoans do. They don't show up for their shows in Michigan to go to Cleveland.
Okay, I'm gonna need a little help here.
I'm not following here.
There was
Show
a
the
Fatu. There was a Fatu who had an indie show scheduled Saturday in Michigan,
one.
and he ended up in Cleveland in the
Yeah,
stands.
the other one, yeah, the one of
Which
like
Fatu is
10,000
that?
of them.
I don't know that one.
Jacob's brother.
Pick a name that currently isn't signed to WWE, and you got a pretty good shot at being close.
Yeah, I forget his first name, but
All I know is Congo Kong was on that show, and he chose to go to SummerSlam. Whew, I feel bad for him.
but in Collision we saw the patriarchy. We saw returning Buddy Matthews. We also saw the Bang Bang Gang. So are we gonna get a triple threat for the trios at Wembley? I don't know if I like
with that.
Probably.
because I
As
feel like we're
long
gonna
as
get
it's
a
not
triple
a
threat for the tag titles.
Okay, here. I
Too many triple
want
threats.
one thing we don't see a lot of in AEW. Let's do a ladder match for the trios title.
Yeah, we saw it between the Elite and Death Triangle in their best of 7.
Yeah. But that wasn't, that was part of the best of 7.
Yeah.
Just do it on their own. Throw 9 individuals in there. Hell, throw a 4th team in there and go 12 individuals. Let the chaos rain down.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with triple threat. I guess I just don't want to see 2 triple threats for titles, because I think it looks like with the Acclaimed, getting in FTR's face and saying you're not cutting the line. We deserve a shot against the Bucks. Acclaimed 1, FTR 0, as Caster reminded them. I feel like that's the direction they're going with the tag. So I don't want to see the tag and trios both in triple threats.
Yeah. Can we talk about Max Caster calling himself the best wrestler in the world?
Yeah, it's a joke. He's not even close. I wouldn't even put him top 20 of AEW.
Yeah. I wondered if we were going to lose Shep. He was in quite the thinking pose for a while.
Well, yeah, his connection, I could tell earlier, was a little wonky.
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll be joining us. But yeah, I'm not a big Max Caster guy. I've been kind of outspoken about that.
I love his raps. Don't get me wrong.
I'm even so on those.
Well, most of the time they're good, but
I just think he talked. It's the same. It's kind of redundant too. It's the same stuff.
It's gotten redundant. Yes, you just get new names and places instead. Anthony Bowens needs to go on a singles run. If you want to keep Caster with him as his manager doing the raps, that's fine. But we don't need him as a tag team anymore. Bowens needs single gold. Put him in that TNT title picture.
As Steven Chambers says here on YouTube, Milli Vanilli of AEW, Max Caster.
Yes.
Yep. Majin, did you guys see the stuff about Adam Cole moving back to Pennsylvania on his own? Trouble in Paradise? Yeah, it's hard telling, because the weird thing about that is Britt's from Pennsylvania. That's the weird part to me about that. So, if they're split, why would he move back to her home state?
And he said, I'm moving by myself, meaning could mean he doesn't have any friends helping him with this move while Britt's on TV. It could mean that there is trouble in paradise.
It could be. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire, I will say. So, but yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, that was interesting. Man, I hope we see Adam Cole back on TV soon. It's been a while.
Yeah, I hated seeing the fake reports coming out this week that he was done wrestling and would never be in a ring again.
Fake reports, exactly what they were. Yeah. And Imagine, you're right. Cole's from Pennsylvania too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. That was interesting that came out this week. So
yes.
Shep, I was talking about how I'd be okay if the trios was a triple threat between the Patriarchy, House of Black, and Bang Bang Gang and All In, as long as the tag team titles aren't a triple threat as well. Because that looks like the direction they're going in for that, with the Young Bucks, the Acclaimed, and FTR. I don't want 2 triple threats for 2 sets of titles on the same show.
That'd be ultimate. That'd be ultimate lazy booking.
Yes, it would. Exactly.
Yeah. No.
Exactly. Would they be good matches? Yeah, but
And I think I said this before my lovely internet went out and I had to switch to my hotspot, which actually we made it an hour on my normal internet before I had to switch. So that's a freaking record.
yes.
I think that would be the ultimate lazy booking if you did this trios match together. A three-way trios match. Sorry, I was trying to think how I was going to word that.
Mhm.
And then you throw the ladder match stipulation in there as well. Like, to me, that's just really lazy. But then all of a sudden, you just brought up a really good point about the tag division. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, holy cow! Like we're just throwing shit against the wall and see what sticks.
I mean, the only other thing that's tag
kinda tough.
division is unless they do an FTR acclaimed #1 contenders match before Wembley, but they've both been so outspoken about wanting a shot. It just seems like we're going to get all three together, and that's going to be an easy way to get the title off the Bucks.
Well,
the other two teams.
And here's the thing. Remember, it was a future tag team title shot. It didn't have to be against the Bucks.
You're right. You're right.
So,
but then what the hell were we doing putting them in blood and guts then?
Yeah.
I mean that even though they shut me up and they did show up. I mean, I gave them kudos last week because Blood and Guts was way better than I thought it would be. The Acclaim performed better than I thought they would.
Well, yeah, MVPs. Jeez.
Oh,
you heard Caster. MVP.
Oh, well, yeah. But
and I also said, Shep, that we need to break up the Acclaimed. Bowen needs to be in that TNT title picture. And if you want Caster still doing raps, have him be his manager.
No,
I'm saying if you're really into having Max Caster deliver raps every single week, you have him be Bowen's manager, at least for a while, and then Caster or Bowen says, "Look, I don't need you anymore. Hit the road, Jack."
No, I still think they're an entertaining tag team. I don't mind Caster in the ring. I think he does okay. I think Bowens is better.
Yes.
For sure. But
Caster's got stale on me, even his raps.
They have, but I still think there's a place for him. I think he is a little over the top, especially on social media, and it wears on us.
Majin, remember Wardlow? Where'd he go? Hell if I know. I don't even like talking about Wardlow because I get so mad so quickly because they've dropped the ball with him 3 times.
Who's Wardlow? Who?
Yeah,
is he that big guy that was in with that Undisputed Kingdom group?
Who? Yeah.
There's only 3 people now.
Yeah,
worthless. Hey, the New Day says who?
And pancakes.
Wardlow's one guy when his contract's up. If he goes to the WWE, I hope he absolutely kills it. It's a dude's money, and Tony's just dropped the ball with him.
And put him in
3 times.
I don't see him going to Connecticut. I see him going to
draft.
I see him going to New Japan.
Really?
Yeah,
that'd be an interesting fit.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like he could be the Lance Archer of New Japan. Like Lance Archer's so over there when I watch some of the New Japan stuff with him.
Oh yeah, he's a monster.
And all the people over there call him Godzilla. But
everybody dies.
I just feel like, he could be that over there. I don't see him in Connecticut because I don't think he can talk, guys. I really don't.
Right.
His in-ring stuff's great. His appearance is great. But I don't think he can talk, so.
Yeah.
Well, remember your new IC champion wasn't that good at talking too long ago.
That dude's a freak.
And his uncle's the best mathematician in the world.
I was going to say, don't ask him to solve a math problem. He probably gets it naturally, but
he's the big booty daddy getting it 9 days a week.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. Show of the week, wrestler of the week, rating.
You want me to go first, Paul?
Sure. Fire away,
Sure.
Shep.
Wrestler of the week. You guys are gonna be like, "Holy cow, he's turning a corner." Wrestler of the week is Lance Archer. He really, really impressed me this week. I know he's a big guy, and I don't normally vote for them, but I thought he put on a hell of a match with Ospreay. Worked really, really well, and was a great match. Show of the week was Dynamite for sure. And I'm going to give Dynamite. Oh, man, this is on the edge, but it's Sunday Fun Day, so I'm going 6.9 for Dynamite. Why are you laughing, Tanner?
I'm immature.
Why? You guys are immature. I was a serious rating. Serious.
Hey, Shep, what is 6.9?
It's a rating I gave.
It's a good time ruined by a period.
Oh, God. That's very true.
Oh, man.
That's a good one. That's
a good one, Paul.
I didn't come up with that.
One. Yeah,
I did not come up with that. I cannot take credit for it. I saw it on the interweb.
That's a good one.
Champ, I'll be nice. I'll let you go first. Before I do,
thanks.
I'll go last.
Thanks. 1 day late birthday boy. Appreciate it.
Yeah. People's champ in the house.
I'm going with Beast Mortos as my wrestler of the week. I mean, he's really come on the last few weeks. I like the guy. I think he's talented. Dynamite's my show of the week, of course. That's no surprise. Rating, I'm going to go 7.3.
Okay.
So quite a bit lower than I've been the last 3 weeks. Still thought it was fine, but I'm expecting a better show this upcoming Wednesday.
Yeah. See, I let you go before me because I was afraid I was going to be the high guy. Dynamite wrestler of the week is I forget exactly what they call her now. The big booty mama, Chris Statlander. Yeah, I don't know. Something
I've never heard anybody call her that. I'm sorry.
I think it was in the comments last week, wasn't it?
Shep not Shep. Paul, you did call her that last week. I don't know where it came from, but you called her that.
I think I saw it in the comments.
You picked her in a draft for your blood and guts team.
Yeah,
she's got a dump truck for sure.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Statlander this week and 7-1. Mine really dropped off.
So I'm still the high guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, are we gonna get it down of a rabbit hole of SummerSlam
after our draft?
Okay.
So I had the privilege of doing the draft topic tonight. And Majin, I got your draft topic. Your draft topic will be next week, I promise. But I wanted to do this one this week.
Majin, we cannot rate the best maple syrups in America. I'm sorry, we just don't have the palate you do.
No maple syrup ranking. That'd be a good one though.
Sorry, that's mean. That's mean. I'm not a mean person, Majin. I promise.
So tonight we each will pick 3 what ifs in AEW, and I'm not really putting too many parameters on this. One thing I will say, and I don't think Shep can hear us, and I'm going to mute his mic because his ice machine is going crazy.
I was just getting ready to do the same thing.
We can't say what if no pandemic happened. Can't do that because there's a lot of classic things that happened in Daily's Place era. But other than that,
best promos was delivered in the pandemic era.
Yes. Other than that, everything's pretty much open for discussion, and it's everybody's own opinion. Name 3 things, 3 what ifs for AEW. What if this would have happened, or what if this didn't happen? Whatever. So, we'll wait till Shep sits down, but I will let you go first, Paul.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm sure you probably know my first what if.
I got a good guess, but
yeah. He didn't hear us. I thought maybe he had his headphones on the whole time. So he has no clue what we've been talking about.
All right, Shep. So I said this is, what ifs. So the only parameters I'm putting on it is we can't say what if the pandemic didn't happen. Because it happened. Some of AEW's best moments happened in the Daily's Place era, pandemic era. So, but other than that, everything's open for discussion. We pick 3 each. What if so-and-so happened, or what if so-and-so didn't happen? And Paul's going first, Shep second, me third.
All right. What if Cody never screwed himself out of ever winning gold in AEW?
Actually, I thought you were going to say Cody, but that wasn't the one I was thinking you were going down. So
I think,
Um,
hey, I think it was planned from day one. I think Cody knew what he was doing. I
Yep.
think Cody knew if he could do this and put himself over in another company, it would elevate him once his contract expired. And I think Cody had this plan all along. So from day one, Cody knew what the hell he was doing.
I think he didn't want to put the title on him because he thought that he'd get backlash from the fans. Oh, look, an EVP is getting a title right away, blah, 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 blah. And I think it backfired on him. I think he should have never. I don't have a problem with him not winning it over Jericho at Full Gear 2019. He should have never put the stipulation that he'd never challenge for it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yes.
But that was a good one. That's a good one.
Good one. Mine's not as positive. What if Brody Lee never passed, man?
Yep. Nope.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great one.
I think Dark Order would have been more of a focus.
Yes.
I think Dark Order would have been more of a focus, and I think by now you'd see Brody Lee have world championship gold.
100%. 100%.
Yes.
That dude was ready for the ride of his career.
Absolutely.
So, one of mine, it intertwines with the pandemic, but what if the show that was supposed to happen in Rochester happens? So that show was supposed to have Blood and Guts, the Elite with Cody in it versus the Inner Circle.
Mm.
It was going to be Brody Lee's debut in front of people and Matt Hardy's debut in front of people.
Well, that's a good one.
I mean, because Brody's run in AEW, unfortunately, his short run was great.
Right.
Matt Hardy's never got on the right foot without fans, and after the Blood and Guts thing dropped out, we never saw Cody do anything with the Elite ever again.
Exactly. I don't think you could have gotten the entrance you got from Matt Hardy, with him popping into different seats, making his way down. That couldn't have happened. They would have had to have
That
found
was
a
weeks
different
later.
way. Was it?
He just appeared. He just appeared up with nobody up there, just like this, after Vanguard 1 came into the area.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think the arena would have came unglued for him standing up there in the rafters somewhere.
Yeah. That probably would have started just like it did for us fans at home when we saw Vanguard 1.
Yes.
And realized it was indeed Vanguard 1. At first, it seemed like, oh, somebody's flying their drone in here to get some free footage of this. And then you get the cut to it and it's Vanguard 1. And it's just, you knew then. If there was a huge pop at home, I think it would have been just as loud in the arena if there were people there.
Yep. So that's my first. Back to you, Paul, for your second.
We're not doing this in Snake. Okay.
Nah, that's all right.
Okay. What if Braun Breaker would have come to AEW?
I didn't even know that was a possibility.
I don't think it was, but what if?
Oh, you're just saying hypothetically.
Yeah. I pulled out a hypothetical out of, because him and Wardlow could put on a hell of a match.
He reminds me a lot of Wardlow. I'm afraid he would have got lost.
Well, yeah, but it would have elevated him then when he went over to WWE even more.
Yeah.
I would almost agree with Tanner on this one. Like, I don't think he would have fit in. I don't think his style fits in. He's lucky to be where he's at. Not that I would not love to have him as an AEW fan. I don't think we could have handled him correctly. So,
Shep, number 2 for you.
Man, I just had this on the tip of my tongue, and then Paul started talking about Braun Breaker. Okay, yeah. What if AEW didn't screw up their relationship with GCW, and then all of a sudden now we have a WWE relationship with GCW?
Like
And
you mean AEW and GCW like WWE does with TNA? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, if we go back to when Moxley dropped the GCW title to Gage because of Big Bill, and then Gage gets on the mic and just smashes AEW talking about Tony Khan this, Tony Khan that. And then we don't see any AEW guys on the GCW shows. And then all of a sudden now we're getting Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, which is GCW, and we're getting all this WWE and NXT talent.
True.
And they're promoting the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think, what my point being, what if I think Tony Khan dropped the ball, boys, and I'm not bashing on AEW here in the last 30 seconds. I'm just
right. No,
I'm
right,
just saying,
right.
I don't think AEW could elevate GCW to the level that it's going to be elevated to, like WWE can, just simply because they have more fans, they have more reach. So I think GCW working some aspect of whatever way they're working with WWE is going to be beneficial to GCW. A lot of talent, a lot of AEW's talent did come from, not a lot, but some of AEW's talent did come from GCW, continued to go back to GCW even after being in AEW. But I think them going with WWE is going to be more beneficial for them in the long run.
And I see a lot of good ones in the comments on YouTube. We'll get to those just in a second. I promise. A lot of good ones. My next one: what if CM Punk didn't jump into the crowd after he won the World Championship and break his foot? Because he was out a couple months. Then when he came back, he cut that weird promo. Now that we know the backstory on Hangman, then he had him and Moxley, and then Brawl Out, a suit after that. But what if we got that Summer of Punk? Could everything been different?
We wouldn't have known about Sarah's Sweets there in Chicago or whatever it is.
Mindy's Bakery. You're correct, but that's one thing I don't think that gets talked about enough. What if he did jump in the crowd and break his foot? The Dynamite after Double or Nothing 2022.
I still think things would have gone the way they did. Just because he was injured, it didn't really change anything. I mean, the thing with him and Hanger happened while he was healthy. The thing with him and Darby or Perry happened when he was healthy.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but I don't know.
Nah. Could have been a little different, but I still think Punk's Punk. So he would have, the backstage stuff still would have happened.
I still personally think, I don't think if it does happen, it's going to happen down the road. I still think he'll go off in WWE at some time. I maybe he won't because Vince isn't there anymore, but he's acting good right now. I just think that's in his DNA. Down the road, something's going to happen.
I think it's in his contract where if he does,
sure.
I think he can be easily terminated and peace out later.
And he has no other options. He would have no other options at that point.
Those guys are.
He can go
to let him happen.
He can go fucking work for NWA and Billy Corgan.
Oh, that's true. That's freaking true.
Billy
hits the rope. Tyrus. So
he hits the ropes a little bit harder than Tyrus.
Oh, goddamn Tyrus!
Speaking of that, who hits the ropes harder than Tyrus? Fucking Jelly Roll.
Anybody who's ever wrestled. Yeah. Heck of
Jelly
a choke slam
Roll,
there by Jelly.
I know we're in the middle of this draft, aren't we? but I had to bring it up.
One of the best choke slams I've seen in a while.
That is the best celebrity choke slam of all time.
Yeah, props to either. I don't remember which one it was. Waller or Theory. They got up for him. Props to
Theory.
them.
I think it was
Big
it
time.
Theory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Props to them big time. That was great.
Yeah. They and look, I'm a huge
One-handed.
one-handed.
Got up for him so much it was one-handed.
I'm a huge Jelly Roll fan. In fact, I'm flying out Wednesday morning, boys, to see him in Vegas.
Nice.
I see him in Vegas this coming Thursday.
I like MGK, so I'm really loving their new song.
Yeah, their new song. But the only thing after this whole thing happened, did you notice how Miz and R-Truth, once he did the 5-knuckle shuffle on him, like Jelly Roll had a hard time getting up. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. And them two guys got over there to make sure he could get up quickly. Like I love the aspect of they knew that they need to get this guy up quickly to continue the selling of it. Like if he stayed down just as long as Theory did, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
And he threw better chair shots than Hogan.
Dude, my blind grandma throws better chair shots than Hogan.
I know. Very true.
She's blind, deaf, and in a wheelchair, and she can throw better chair shots than Hogan.
That's the worst
WCW Hogan.
Ever. Yeah, the worst chair shots ever.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, are we back onto this draft?
Yep. One more for each of us, Paul.
Yeah.
Go for it,
I'm gonna kind of stick with yours. What if Punk never signed with AEW?
I honestly think he still would be out of wrestling today.
Correct. 100% agree.
Yep.
Yeah. And we wouldn't have gotten scapegoat Jack Perry. He'd still be running around with Marco Stunt and Dino Douche.
Jesus.
God, what an awful thing that was.
It had its place in time, but good God, thank God they moved on.
Can you imagine it, though? He'd still be a jungle boy.
And he's like 30.
Yeah.
Props to JR. He got the ball rolling on that. So he kept calling him Jungle Boy Jack Perry. At least he started getting it rolling.
And then he started dropping the boy and just started calling him Jungle Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Or Jungle Jack.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I'm gonna hit you deep on this one, okay? We're gonna go back to 2018. What if Chris Jericho
Knew this was coming.
didn't take TK's plane to All Out and dress up as
All in.
All In. Didn't dress up as Penta and attack him. Would we still have the participation from TK today?
I do, because I think it was more the Tokyo Dome match earlier that year in January between Omega and Jericho that got the ball rolling.
Yes.
Now, if we don't have that match, I don't think AEW's a thing.
Right. All In would have been just a group of guys coming together to put on a wrestling show that sold out in under 10 minutes. That's what it would have been.
My last one, I got to think here. This is tough.
What if Brock Lesnar came to AEW? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
I just saw Brock not too long ago behind Tanner. That's why I did.
Yeah, it's Brock and Angle behind Tanner.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah. Man, this is a tough one. There's one I want to say, but just be for comic relief, I'm not going to do it. So,
we're here for a good laugh.
You want to laugh? What if Bill Goldberg would have signed with AEW?
Fuck.
I
thought you wanted to laugh, not me to shake
I'm
my
laughing.
head in disgust.
I'm laughing.
Right as this comment came in too, Tanner.
Well, Goldberg was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast last week, and he said Tony Khan's the male version of Dixie Carter.
That's a little harsh.
I thought I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's just who he reminds me of.
Well, here's the problem. Well, here's the difference. Shad Khan has a metric ton more money than Dixie Carter's family.
Yes.
Nothing against Dixie Carter's family or Dixie Carter.
Yep.
You can't compare them to.
But actually, my serious one, what if Sting didn't sign with AEW for his
Ooh,
retirement run?
Darby wouldn't be as popular as he is.
Correct.
Sting
We would have missed out on a lot of good memories.
Sting would have finished his life in Japan.
You still think he would have had one more run?
He still if they didn't come to terms, Sting still would have made appearances in New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, whatever it was, and had a match or two here, and he still would have made a little bit of a run. Yes. So
Thank God he did, because Tony did that the right way. That might have been Tony Khan's best thing he's done in AEW, is how he handled Sting's whole last run.
I agree.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
pretty fitting.
Yeah.
Let's go over.
I have an honorable mention here, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We're gonna do what if. What if AEW never existed? Would you guys still be wrestling fans?
Yes.
I don't think I would be right now, because I don't think WWE would have got as hot as it is now. AEW made them, and Vince McMahon, proven he's a scumbag, made them bump their game up to another level. Competition brings the best out of everybody.
I disagree with Tanner by saying we wouldn't be wrestling fans. I agree with Tanner because I don't think we would have got the storylines in Connecticut without AEW. And the obviously the blatant slap in the face is Cody. Like, guys, we would not have a year-long story with Cody without AEW. There's just no.
Cody's not back in WWE without AEW.
Correct.
Even though they were trying to sign him, from New Japan, but the American Nightmare really became the American Nightmare in AEW, even though AEW fans didn't embrace it.
But I mean, there was a freaking. I mean, in the long run, WWE got the last laugh because they made a documentary over it and made sure they made millions off of it.
Sure.
But yeah.
Got some from the comments here. Go ahead, Shep. Sorry.
I'm just saying we wouldn't have WWE wouldn't be as hot as it is right now without AEW.
Correct. Mon said, what if Cody didn't cut the Heavy America promo against the boxer, blank on his name, Anthony Ogogo? Yeah, that was terrible. That was kind of the beginning of the end for Cody in AEW. That whole feud was just not good at all. He also said, what if Lance Archer won the inaugural TNT champion, or was the inaugural TNT champion, lost to Cody? Yeah, he would have finally had gold, which he's never had in AEW. Of course, Shep brought this one up. What if Mr. Brody Lee didn't pass away? Stephen Chambers, what if Punk wasn't in AEW? There wouldn't be no Collision. That's a good point. We didn't even talk about. There would be no Collision.
Mm-hmm.
Majin, what if Malachi Black was actually given support?
Oh, shit.
House of Black would be untouchable.
That's a good one. Stephen Chambers, what if AEW didn't sign the crash test dummy Darby?
Yeah. Sting wouldn't have come then.
True. Majin, what if Charlotte Flair came over with Andrade when Andrade signed?
Hey, that's a good one. I'll tell you this right now. If Charlotte Flair came over with Andrade, Charlotte Flair would have smashed, absolutely crushed the whole AEW women's roster. Not saying we don't have a good women's roster, okay?
Right.
We got some good things going with Toni Storm and Mariah May and Dina Purrazzo, and I get it. They're all great performers, but they're not Charlotte Flair. Correct. Charlotte Flair would have smoked them all. I'm a huge Charlotte Flair mark.
She's great.
I don't know if we've ever talked about this on this podcast, but unbelievable talent, unbelievable mind for the sport, and the heart she has given to this sport is next to none. So, Charlotte Flair right now to me is the GOAT in women's professional wrestling.
Stephen
Better than
Chambers,
being
what
the
if
boat?
AEW gave the AEW title to Orange Cassidy? That's still probably gonna happen one of these days down the road.
It
eventually.
depends on when it would have happened. If
Yeah.
they give it to him in the future, it'll be fine. But when he was at the height of the best friends and truly the king of sloth that he was then, I mean, he's evolved. He's getting faster and faster in the ring, doing more explosive stuff. We're seeing some of that anger come out in him. But if they would have done it back then, it would have been a drop on the ball.
Majin, what if Adam Cole and Keith Lee could stay healthy? That's a good one. That's a good one.
We'd have a lot of good storylines going.
Stephen Chambers, what if AEW doesn't have the relationship with New Japan, AAA, and CMLL?
We wouldn't have gotten Forbidden Door.
Well,
Probably would have lost some talent too over the time.
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we're at today because if Tony Khan didn't have that open-minded thought process to get these companies involved and obviously play ball, and I'm guessing there's more than just creative, there's some financial
Sure.
Gain for
Aspects,
everybody in there. Kudos to him to have that mindset, that business mindset that the Khans have to let us be the beneficiary and watch this stuff that normally we wouldn't get.
Steffi, what if AEW never screwed over TNA? That relationship was a little weird. AEW definitely got more out of it than TNA did, in my opinion.
Yeah, and didn't old Sammy Guevara get in the middle of that shit?
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly, but he was.
He didn't want
right
to
in
take
the
the
middle.
loss on Impact. So he didn't go to the taping. So yeah, that kind of messed things up both sides. Stephen Chambers, what if TK didn't give Omega and Bucks EVPs? I don't know if the company would have became what it did. And that was part of the agreement. Cody, Kenny, and the Bucks EVPs.
You know what though? If you look, and I'm not harping on these guys, if you look at the first wave of talent the Bucks and Omega brought in,
yes, they knew.
There's very few of them left.
Right at the time, yeah, they had this is who we need to bring in from the Indies, but yeah, there's not a lot of them left. You're right. Because Omega especially was doing the Joshi women's stuff, the Bucks tag division. Yeah, that's Tony kind of took control after that Dark Order flop in the last Dynamite episode of 2019, and we kind of stopped seeing those guys have as much influence as who was coming in on the roster, it seemed like. So.
Yeah.
But I still think losing Cody was a huge thing that AEW's never really recovered from. And even if you're not a Cody Rhodes fan, that's fine. I'm not really talking from an on-screen talent. I think it's from a backstage standpoint. I think Cody helped big time creatively with the shows. And something's been a little off ever since, even though I think AEW is cooking right now.
Yeah.
It's still maybe not what it was at one time.
And I think it also helped, when they lost Cody, they lost Arn. And those two's minds together were great things backstage.
Yeah, well, they had Arn, and they just never did anything with them. And now we saw Arn pop up on WWE TV last night, SummerSlam, for the first time since 2019, which was a pretty cool little segment they did there. So
yeah, who else showed up last night on WWE TV that used to be over? Well, yeah. DDP.
That was his last. DDP was up there in the skybox with the Steiners.
Yep. Yeah. Which I was surprised they saw. I was surprised they showed Rick, to be honest. I know he's Braun's dad, but he's real controversial to put on TV compared to Scott. So over some things he's done in the past year. And if I was in charge of creative, if I was Paul Triple H Levesque, I would call Braun Breaker Bronson Steiner. I think that sounds so much better than Braun Breaker.
Well, they've already got a Bronson, big Bronson Reed.
Yeah. They already got a Braun, Braun Strowman.
Spelled different.
I don't care. So, yeah, but that was Pharaoh's last road trip. He's got to stay home from now on. So that was cool.
He's getting old. He's getting
13.
old.
And as Cody said, his pack's at home now. He's more Libby's dog than Cody's dog. So,
Yeah.
and he called Yeti Pinkerton a jobber, enhancement talent. I thought that was pretty
Perfect.
funny last night
Perfect.
in the press conference. And did you guys notice? I don't know. I stayed up and watched the post presser because I was hoping our boy JPJ he got to go to the post presser. Pluggo didn't, so I was waiting to see if JPJ was going to get asked a question. He didn't. I don't know if he had a question, but he didn't get called on. So I was staying up. But Cody,
They found out he was. They found out he was a Notre Dame fan, and they said, "Fuck off."
That's
You're not
Pluggo.
answering.
Yeah, that's Pluggo.
Oh, Pluggo.
JPJ.
Oh, they found out he was. They found out he was a Boston fan. Same thing.
Yeah.
Boston, Notre Dame, same fucking thing.
Cody's jacket at WWE right under it said QB. He's always referred to himself as the quarterback since he's the title holder. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Our buddy Pluggo did get to run into Cody and got a yeet from him again.
Yep. JPJ got a picture with Cody. They did a lot of cool interviews. Go check their YouTube channel out, Between Two Beers, and you can catch those. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Happy for those guys.
I got a few questions for him after their time, so
yeah,
I'll save that to the all-in prediction show, though.
But SummerSlam last night, I thought it was good. I thought it was a show. If you're looking for great in-ring wrestling, that might have not been the show for you. But if you're looking for good storylines and good angles to set up future storylines, this was the show for you, because I thought they did a great job setting up future storylines with the angles last night.
I thought it was a great wow factor show.
Okay.
The guest appearances, I thought some of the in-ring work was really, really good. The only thing I didn't care for is when we had that bloodline match, and then all of a sudden we had the kind of repeat of WrestleMania, and it was
the run-ins and the
run-ins.
If it's bloodline rules, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And at the end, it worked out well. We got the shock factor of
which we knew was coming.
That's why they had to do it. It only made sense.
Which was fine. I think one of the best matches was fucking Gunther and Damien. Oh my God, they beat the shit out of each other. And not too far behind it was Logan Paul and LA Knight.
Yeah.
Logan Paul seemed, as much as I want to hate the guy,
he is a douche, but he can go, man.
I can't stand him. I can't stand his brother. I want an MMA fighter or a boxer just to knock him the shit out. Come on.
Yeah.
But I got to give him props. What he can do in the ring, his athleticism, holy shnikes.
Yeah.
I love that LA Knight went over.
About time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him. I liked it. Those are my two standout matches of the night, was those two. The shock factor of the night, we got the tribal chief, but I also love old Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom turning on mommy.
I wouldn't want to be Dirty Dom right now. She got to come rip his head off.
Hold on, guys. Think about it.
Well, I do. I wish I was Dirty Dom.
If you're Dirty Dom and that's your two choices,
he made on.
Hold easy there, Tanner. Don't tell me he made the right choice, but you got two choices of mommy.
He couldn't go wrong. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm guessing each one of them is crazier in hell. Liv is nuts. She's nuts.
Yes.
That's like when you married, like when I married my wife, they called me a bargain shopper. You know why they call me a bargain shopper?
Why?
Because I married a wife and got 4 free personalities.
Podcast.
I'm just saying, I'm a bargain shopper. I buy one, I buy one, I get 4 for free, baby.
You know the deals, man. You know the deals.
That's like some of those videos I catch on the internet where the guy's like, "Look, I love my wife, all of her personalities."
Yeah.
I don't need to cheat on her. If personality number 3 pisses me off, I just call back and talk to personality 42.
Hey guys, we got to keep an air tank right next to the side of our bed, because every morning when my wife wakes up, she looks at me and I take her breath away.
Gold.
Oh,
Gold.
That's
I should clip that one and send that to her right there.
You
The
can-
AirTag
you
one. That's
can.
a good one.
You can. Yeah.
Needs to
I
be
will
on
not, but I-
Instagram.
She would be impressed.
The thing about the main event, don't think Solo's ready for that moment.
No, he wasn't.
Jacob Fatu might be, even though it looks like he might have injured himself.
No, that I
He was
saw
in
that.
a walking boot.
I saw that today.
Yes.
That was a work. That's a work.
I
He was supposed to sell that, and then when he started throwing the chairs and shit around behind him, they thought I think he fooled them, like he really hurt himself. But I've watched the slow-mo replay, and his shin did not hit that table
okay.
at all.
Oh, I hope you're right because I
So-
thought I read a report that he was supposed to work it, but they didn't know if he was supposed to work up to that extent. So they didn't know if
he
he really
worked
did
it.
hurt himself.
He worked it.
Okay.
But he's a freak. Solo, I'm not huge on. Tomatonga's good. Tongaloa, don't care for him.
Tongaloa.
Yeah, don't care for
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah.
So you have Solo, Jacob Fatu,
Yep.
Tongaloa, Tonga
and
Tonga.
Tomatonga. Yep,
Yeah, so there's 4 of them.
yep,
You're gonna have Roman
yep,
and the Usos. There's 3 of them.
yep.
You still need 1 on Bloodline number 2.
Yep.
And 2 on Bloodline number 1.
Well, you could bring back the final boss, even though I don't think they will. Yet.
It is Survivor Series though.
Or they can bring Hikuleo. Jesus. Hikuleo over from New Japan because he's supposedly assigned. He's another one with them.
You got Zillow Fatu and GCW
Yeah,
right now.
that's the one.
That's
the one I think that
He's
missed
crazy.
the Michigan show, wasn't it, Paul?
Was it Zillow Fatu?
I'd have to go look.
Because he's on the show tonight. There's a GCW show tonight that he's on.
But you could put Sami Zayn in there. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
Rikishi says he can go one more time.
No, please no. Please no.
No.
I don't need to see that.
No?
I don't need to see that. But there's like a million of them.
Chance to perform with his boys and against
Yeah.
the Sun? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got 3.5 months to get in shape. Let's do it.
I think I know how I would book the rest of Cody's ring though, if I had the pencil.
Mm-hmm.
I have him drop it at Rumble to Randy Orton after Randy Orton turns. I have John Cena win the Rumble, and I have John Cena take it off Orton at WrestleMania for number 17.
So you want Orton to beat Flair? Or I'm
No.
sorry, you want Cena to beat Flair. Sorry.
Guarantee he does. They're calling him the GOAT. They called him last night the greatest of all time. Last night. So every time they talk about him, they call him the greatest of all time. That's not by mistake. That's not by mistake.
Yeah. So I'm just throwing this up here. This is a comment from earlier on in the podcast when we were talking about the Fatu not showing up originally. And this is Majin says, watch down the line. We'll have a new American promotion, AFW, All Fatu Wrestling.
Yeah, no kidding. Steffi, I believe you are right.
There's-
Tomatonga is Haku's kid, I believe. I
Yes.
get it all confused, but yeah.
That is correct.
But no, overall, I thought it was a pretty good SummerSlam. Like I said, it built a lot of angles, and it was no surprise that Gunther went over because now he's the champ going home in Germany at Bash in Berlin next month. So,
Yep. I'm going to go try to find which Fatu didn't show up real quick.
yep.
But we can keep going while I do this.
But I will say, Cody's title run's been a little meh for me.
It's
A
been
little
very
bit.
mid.
His five title defenses.
Hold on here. The reason you say that, guys, is because his buildup was fucking perfect.
Yeah, his chase was awesome.
His buildup was perfect. I mean, the guy had a banger of a match against AJ Styles. Okay.
Yep.
I thought he had a really good match against Solo. The in-ring work with those two guys before the interference I thought was really entertaining. I mean, Cody can go. We all know that.
Right.
Solo can go. him and AJ was magical. You just don't have the personal storyline to grab you like we had before.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing against Cody, nothing that he can't wrestle, but
I'm not saying
we were also we felt, and this is what's great about professional wrestling, we felt personally involved in that Cody shit, right? We all watched him in AEW. We all watched him before AEW. We all watched him after AEW. We watched him in New Japan. We watched him in Ring of Honor. We watched him in NWA. We all watched that. So we were fucking ready to rock. And then it happened. And then it's just like,
Now what?
now what? Yeah, we had a great match with AJ Styles. We had a great match with Solo Sikoa. Nothing against Cody, but it's just blah. And you got to remember,
It's kind of filler. It feels
yeah.
like.
And you got to remember, leading 2 weeks up between WrestleMania, all of a sudden you got the fucking Rock involved, of all people.
And yes, it was Zilla.
Zilla Fatu, yeah.
Yeah. UPW Summer Sizzle 24. August 3rd, 2024. And there's Congo Kong.
So he skipped that one to go to SummerSlam, huh?
Yeah. I'm
He's
sorry,
on the-
I would not skip anything that had Congo Kong on it because that dude would beat your ass.
Well,
Can he beat Rip? I want to see him beat up Rip Ryerson. Can we get that? Can we make that happen?
Yeah. Can
He
I get a power bomb?
No.
Through a flaming table
No.
with
Why?
thumbtacks,
Because I took a chair shot from the dude. That's
broken
enough.
glass. Who's you? I'm not talking about Rip Ryerson. I'm not talking about Paul Zartman.
Okay, Rip
I'm talking about
Ryerson. Rip Zartman, yeah. Rip Ryerson Jr. chair shot from
I'll
top.
Rip Zartman, sure.
Okay.
What a puss that guy is. Afraid of Congo. Isn't Congo Kong like 59 years old?
The dude is big.
Oh,
I don't care. He's impressive. I'm not gonna cross Congo Kong. Never.
Well, Paul won't, but maybe Rip Ryerson will.
No. Rip Ryerson's terrified of him.
Rip Ryerson.
Why are you talking for Rip? That's why I'm confused.
Rip Ryerson's trying to still swim his ass out of Lake Manitou.
Yeah, we need to
he
get
drowned.
that Rip Ryerson guy on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
We've never had him on this podcast before.
Maybe we can do that next week. He's got a show next Saturday in Fort Wayne
That's right.
at Pierre's
At Pierre's.
Yes.
with no Tanner Lee.
That's in
We've been
Tanner
down
Lee's.
this
That's in
before.
Tanner Lee's background or backyard, isn't it?
Yeah, but Tanner Lee won't even be in the same city because he'll be off listening to somebody get higher.
And that Q Shep singing the song now.
Yeah, oh my God. You're going to a Creed concert? I'm jealous. Where at? Take me high.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, Shep, you cracked me up.
There we go.
Where's Creed at?
Noblesville.
Fuck, really?
Summer of '99 tour. It's called. First time they've toured in 15 years.
Saturday night?
Hmm?
Man, I land in Indy at like 7:00 that night.
That's the time the concert starts. But they won't be. They're the main act. They're not the first.
Right,
act.
so you'll have like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
So
I think it's
hours of
also
pre-show.
It's
I
also
fly-
Daughtry and Three Doors Down are the other two.
Oh, Three Doors Down's fucking awesome. Daughtry's a douchebag.
Yeah.
I fly to Vegas 7:25 Wednesday morning.
Mm.
And I'm gonna be drunk for 3 straight days. I'm not gonna lie.
So Shep's gonna be tired on the podcast next week's when I'm here.
Oh fuck!
If Shep makes it.
Oh fuck! I'll be here. In fact, we might do a little FaceTime. Well, it might be late for you boys. When Jelly Roll takes the stage on Thursday night in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. I said AT&T Stadium. Fuck, I'm not in Dallas. Allegiant Stadium.
Oh God, you got to go where the Raiders play. I'm sorry,
Yeah, I do.
but that's where Mania is next year. Mania's
That's where Mania's at. I'm scoping
Yeah.
out some sweets for us. How about that?
Oh my God. I don't know if I have enough in my bank account, but okay.
Well, no, we'll be comped by then.
Okay.
We'll be comped.
Let's just try to get comp for the Rumble February 1st in Indy. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paul, you can't talk when you don't have a fucking picture and you're muted. Jesus.
Gonna give me epilepsy here.
Actually, I know a guy that owns a suite in Lucas, so we'll work on that.
All right.
Yeah, you work on that. We'll report live.
Fuck. Could you imagine us doing a live podcast from the Rumble?
No.
I could bring a laptop and a couple tablets. I've got like 3.
Well,
Good
no,
luck getting Wi-Fi during the show, though.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not worried about all that shit. I'm just worried about Shep being coherent enough.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Tanner,
Rumble-
you're driving home.
Yeah, that or I'm getting a hotel room.
Yes. Yes. I love the Raider hate.
The Raiders of Judgment Day of WWE.
Yes.
I'm not a Raiders fan, guys. That's where the concert's at, and
One of your buddies is.
Yeah, that's true. He switched when he was 38
And
years
out of
old.
all the teams,
Out of all the teams, he switched.
Go Browns.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
No, but actually, hey, speaking of football, I'm Tanner. You've seen all the things. So Morgan Wallen was in Kansas City, and he came out with the Harrison Buckner jersey, which I love. You guys can debate me on this all day long. I love the.
I
Harrison
hate everything
Buckner
about
jersey.
the Kansas City Chiefs. So
I know, but Harrison Buckner is a fucking stud. And then he had Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey. So I'm going to see Jelly Roll. Part of the concert is Morgan Wallen as well. So who of the Raiders will be escorting Morgan Wallen to the stage?
Max Crosby.
That's the only
No doubt.
That's the only one I can think of right now.
No doubt, and he fits the mold because Devontae Adams doesn't fit the mold.
No.
They don't have really any other big time name guys right now. So.
Yeah, but who did you sign as a quarterback?
Gardner Minshew, but he's probably not going to be their starter. So
No, but he's got a hell of a mustache and would work well on the big screen.
He does. I don't know. That's a pretty big drop off from Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, even though I hate those douchebags. The Gardner Minshew walking out.
And Crosby.
Crosby's a stud, though. Crosby's elite for his position. And that's for come from a Bronco.
But you got to remember, we're in Vegas, so anybody can show up. Anybody
That's
can
true.
show up.
That's true.
I'll make sure to send you guys videos if
All
I
right.
can
Looking
remember.
forward to it. Looking forward to it.
If I'm awake.
All right. We're almost at 2 hours. We got to wrap this thing up.
Well, real quick, if we go over, I apologize, but I want to lay down a challenge.
Oh boy.
I've been thinking about this challenge for a year now, and I've decided to do it. Tanner. All right. You, because you're the KOP predictions champion.
Mr. Perfect Card.
Sure. I want to make a
Me
deal
and
with you.
JPJ had a perfect card. You can't call yourself perfect card when we've had one too.
When you get multiples like me.
I had
then
multiples.
you're part of the club.
That we're not talking about women.
That's back when the toy belt was being passed along.
Sorry,
I had some.
What does that mean? Sorry.
Remember, I held that the one we retired not too long ago for quite a while due to perfect cards. Thank you. Anyway, here's my challenge to you, Tanner. This is a long challenge.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not even involved in this.
You can be too, Shep, if you want, but
Can I just be mouthy?
You can be mouthy. This is going to touch on one of your other podcasts because you're a sports guy.
Correct.
So, how about this? If the Browns somehow miraculously do better than the Broncos, I will wear
They're
a
gonna be
Broncos.
projected to do.
I will wear, or you will wear a Browns jersey on the podcast. If the Broncos do better than the Browns, I will wear a Broncos jersey.
Okay, but how are we going to do this? Because my jerseys aren't going to fit you. Your jerseys aren't going to fit me.
Oh, I'll go buy one just for this.
Oh, that's pretty confident.
All right, so we're not going on their head-to-head game in December. We're going on
You're
season
going
record.
overall record before
Overall record.
before the
Yes.
playoffs.
Regular season.
Neither one of the fucking teams are going to make the playoffs. They're both shit
Neither one of
teams.
them are going to be. I know.
No,
But
yeah.
I'm just saying,
Broncos
overall
are
record before the
rebuilding, tough
playoffs.
division. But I
Your
feel like I
team-
can't back down from a challenge from you, so I'm gonna have to accept.
Shep, your team has a better chance at doing better than both of our teams, so that's
I
not
agree
fair.
with that.
Hey, the only problem with my team, they're in a fucking murderous conference with young quarterbacks.
I don't want to talk about a murderous conference.
Are you serious? Look at the four.
I'm dead serious.
Look at the four quarterbacks we have in the freaking AFC Central,
South.
Whatever. Look at those four quarterbacks.
The
Tell me
Titans don't have a quarterback. The jury's still out on Trevor Lawrence. C.J. Stroud's a stud, but I would still rather go against him than Patrick Mahomes twice a year and Justin Herbert twice a year.
Oh, Herbert's a joke. You guys are just a bunch of scaredy cat pussies.
Whatever. All Colts grow up to be Broncos, Shep.
Yeah, that's why you guys have fucking Elway. Fucking douchebag. Didn't want to come to Indianapolis.
Can you blame the guy? Then they moved from Baltimore. It was Baltimore more than Indianapolis.
Yeah. Elway's a douchebag.
Don't talk about my dog like that.
The only reason you guys have a Super Bowl is because you have a Colt as an ex-quarterback.
Yeah, I was led by the defense. He had noodle arm that year.
He was the quarterback.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was.
Okay,
Who
that's
cut
why
him? Who cut him?
he retired.
Bullshit. He got cut. He went with Andrew Luck instead. No, he did not retire. He got cut. He got cut. Go look it up. He was a free agent, chose the Broncos over the Titans and the Niners. He got cut.
He won you a Super Bowl.
Irsay needs to pop the pills and drink some more alcohol.
God bless him. I love him.
No, he's an idiot.
I wish I could party with him every day.
That might be fun, but he's an idiot. That franchise should have more than one Super Bowl championship.
So do we have a deal, Tanner?
Yes, we got a deal, Paul.
All right.
Deal.
I'll start looking up. You can give me some suggestions on good Broncos jerseys to buy.
All right. You can do the same with the Browns because
Sure.
I got nothing. So,
You know what? Both your teams have the ugliest fucking colors ever. Them just some ugly ass jerseys. Navy and orange and brown and orange. Just fucking ugly. You guys.
we got the best throwbacks in the league, though.
You have
Hey,
fucking colors.
We're only the Cleveland Browns because of the guy who started the team. Okay.
The only reason we know the Cleveland Browns is because of the movie with freaking Draft Day.
No,
That movie sucked.
I'd say
Kevin
great.
Costner's
Whoa!
worst sports movie by far.
That was one of a great.
Draft Day was
sports
terrible.
movie. That was a great.
That was
movie.
awful.
That's
that
a
was
great
awful.
movie. Oh,
Awful.
come on.
By far, Costner's worst sports movie.
Oh, Costner was awesome in that movie. Just
How drunk are you right now?
a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very good movie.
I was going to say more people know the Browns from the Drew Carey show than anything.
I know the Browns because of the movie Draft Day. And Johnny Manziel.
There we go.
That was a really good pick, Paul. You guys did really well with Johnny Manziel.
It was fun
Thank
for
you.
like a year.
Yeah. Look, I never have any hope for Cleveland, so that's why I'm like, I'll go buy a jersey now because I mean, the chances of the Browns having a winning record.
You guys had a good little shot last year.
And then we've screwed it up.
Yeah.
Had some injury troubles last year.
Yeah. That's the Cleveland way. You get a good record and then you screw it up.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, the Broncos right now are not they fucking
they haven't had a winning record since the Super Bowl year in had a winning record in 2016, but haven't made the playoffs since the Super Bowl year in 2015. So
Yeah. You went and got Tim Tebow.
No, Jesus Christ. Tim Tebow was before Peyton Manning. And we made the playoffs with Tim Tebow.
You still had him.
Yeah, and then they got rid of him when they got Peyton.
Actually, Tim Tebow won you a playoff game, did he not?
Yeah, against Steelers.
Yeah.
His last NFL touchdown was as a member of the Broncos.
Yeah. And then you guys cut him. He wins you guys a playoff game and you cut him. Oh,
Peyton Manning or Tim Tebow?
Oh, wait a minute. You just called Peyton Manning Mr. Rubber Arm.
His last year he was.
He'll
even admit it.
I'm just saying what you said, Tanner.
He would admit it.
I'm just saying what you said.
Yeah.
I had no clue we were going to go down this type of
Thanks,
rabbit
Paul.
hole.
You got me about as fired up as I've ever been on this podcast. We're not talking wrestling.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. Draft Day is a better movie than you guys can give it. Although, hey. All right, real quick. Impromptu draft. You guys can say,
oh, Lord.
We'll do top two. Your top two sports movies of all time. Tanner, go.
Remember the Titans?
Ooh.
Field of Dreams.
Ooh. Okay. Paul, go for it.
Major League, of course.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And believe it or not, radio.
That's not a rated one. I like that one.
Wow. Okay.
That is a staple here in our household. We watch it at least once a year.
I'm going Tin Cup.
I knew you were going golf. I like that one, though.
That's a fucking great movie. And then it's a baseball movie. And how can you not get passionate about baseball? Moneyball.
Moneyball's a good one.
Yeah.
All those choices were good. I'm glad nobody said something just off the rail.
Although the Cleveland Draft Day, that's a good movie. I don't mind it. I enjoy that movie.
It's not
entertaining.
top. I don't even know if it's a top 10 football movie.
Ooh, yeah, it's pretty close.
That's a rabbit hole for another episode. We're not doing that tonight.
Space Jam.
Space Jam 1's great. Space Jam 2 is one of the worst pieces of trash I've ever seen in my life.
Is that the one
they
with
tried
LeBron
to?
in it?
Yeah, it is awful. Don't waste your time.
Hey, guys, I have a. Hey, seriously, let's focus real quick.
Focus, yeah.
You tell me a bee that can't fly. Kobe. I heard that one today. That was good.
Well, we had a fun couple years of the podcast. This will be our last episode. So,
and on that
Shep.
note, be sure to follow the Kicking Out Podcast on all social media at
might as well while you can, because we're going to be canceled by the time this drops tomorrow morning.
No, we won't.
Oh, be sure to listen to the Kicking Out Podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcast, and if it
because there won't be any more new episodes.
And if it happens to be Apple Podcasts, leave us that 5-star review just one more
Please,
time. For Christ's sake.
for one more time.
And check out kickingOutShop.com while you still can. You can get some great merchandise, support a great podcast, and look fantastic doing so. And all month long, we've got a promo code. It is FUNHOUSE, FUNHOUSE. You'll get free shipping on your entire order. So Shep, buy from kickingOutShop.com. Be sure to follow all of us on social media. Follow Austin Shepard at TheShep27, Tanner Lee at TannerLee92, and follow myself at Paul Zartman87. And with that, for Tanner Lee and Austin Shepard, hopefully not for the last time, join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast.